Hello, fellow Rosarians. Thank you for joining me today. I can't believe how long it's been since we've done an unboxing together, and I'm really excited to start with you again and have a lot of unboxings in 2022. For my new Rosarians that may not be familiar with my channel, I have done over 20 plus unboxings last season, and I do that so that you know what to expect from each vendor, whether it is potted or bare root, what grade to expect. And in this coming season, I'm going to continue doing unboxings from my favorites that I've bought in the past, and I'm going to add a couple of new ones too. So in the event that you are considering ordering, make sure that you check out those videos so that you know what to expect. It is the second week in January and it is 13 degrees and I'm really cold, but I thought what better way to start with y'all than what we did in previous years, which is unboxing my bare roots here on the porch. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about our new vendor. This vendor is from Arizona and it's called Flourish Roses. It is their first time shipping bare roots. As we've mentioned, we don't have enough vendors out there to be able to support the demand for olive roses. So we want to try to encourage our small businesses and help them to be as successful as possible. When we talk about our vendors, we look at certain criteria as we're racking and stacking the prices and talking about our experience. And with small business, I love buying from them because not only are they very responsive, they take great pride in their roses, they want you to be happy, and they put great care into packaging their roses. Is this a small business? Yes. Are you going to talk to the same person every time you reach out? Yes. And I'll share an experience with you. When I have reached out to some of the larger companies and I'll ask, is it grafted? Is it unroot? Or any other rose specific question. When they don't know the answer right away, it's frustrating. And so in this case, when you reach out, the person that you talk to is going to be able to tell you everything that you need to know about roses, which is really nice. So as I mentioned, it's their first time shipping bare roots, but they have been shipping for 2 years and they sell to their local groups in Arizona. I'm going to go ahead and put their Facebook page up on here that they are a member of, just in case you're out in Arizona and you want to join. As you guys know, I like to reach out lots of different ways and see how responsive they are. So I've hit them up through email, phone, Instagram, Facebook, all of them, and they have been very responsive. So when you look at their website, they have 23 roses on the site right now. They're bare root or own root, and it doesn't specify which one. So if that's important to you, you're going to need to reach out directly to them to ask them which rootstock or is it own root, just so you know. Hopefully that'll be an update that they make in the future. I guess if they start hearing from too many people, they'll realize that that makes life a little bit easier to put it into the description. But we won't fault them for that. So they're shipping in January. So for a lot of people, you're going to be saying right now, oh my gosh, that's so early. I'm used to having mine. I guess for zone 10 and 9 people, this is okay. But for zone 7 and lower, we're used to getting our roses bare root starting in probably the first week of March. So this is early. I don't want you to worry about that. In the event that there's something that you want from their site, I'll show you how to take care of it. Basically, we're just going to go ahead and pot it up. We don't want it to come out of dormancy, so we're not using any fertilizer. We want it to stay asleep. So we're just going to go ahead and pot it up and put it in our sheltered area with the other roses that we're overwintering in pots. And when it's time to put them in the ground for your zone, after March or so, if you're in my zone 7, then we will go ahead and do a proper planting with fertilizers and compost and everything you need. But until then, let's just give them a little vacation in a pot and wait for a few weeks. The website is great. They have pictures of the roses, the price is listed. You'll see the price vary between $20 and $25. The new varieties this year that are available on their site will be $25. The older varieties, like what I got, will be $20. As I mentioned, it's a new business. So when I asked about their warranty, they don't have an established warranty yet. They're just kind of looking to see how the season goes. In the event that you have any problem with your rose, just go ahead and reach out to them, send pictures, and As I mentioned, they're very responsive, so I don't think that you'll have any problems. So let me tell you what to look for when you unbox your rose, just to make sure it's healthy and gets off to the right start. So what are we going to look for? We are looking for that it's the grade that I ordered. Everything on their website is grade 1. And I've done a video that I'll share with you here on how to look at your rose to determine what the grade is. Easy stuff. Grade 1 is 3 canes that are the size of a pencil. As long as it's got 3 canes, we're happy. As a fun fact note, David Austin does not have grade 1 roses. They'll just send you what they have, which for all intensive purposes are grade 1 roses. But don't get upset if you're unboxing that rose and it doesn't have 3 canes. One of my favorite roses from them was Corvidel, and it came with 2 canes, and it was on the small side. And they said, and when I sent them a picture and said, hey, just want to make sure you're okay with this, they said, you know what, in the event that it doesn't flush out or grow the way that you want to, just reach out to us. We've got that 5-year guarantee, and I haven't had to. That rose has done great. But for all of our other vendors for bare root, I think that they're grade 1. So look at what you're buying in the description. It should say the grade of the rose, and take a look at that video that I put together. It's a very short one to tell you how to decipher the different grades and what to expect. All right, so besides grading it, we want to make sure that the canes are strong and bright green and that they're not soft, that it didn't get dried out in shipment. In the event that there are leaves flushing out, we want those leaves to be green and healthy and not crispy, which would indicate that they dried out in shipment. So we want to just look at that area between the canes and the roots and feel it. Is it soft? If it's soft, that would indicate that there was some kind of a rot or a problem. So we want that to be firm and hard. Then finally, we're going to look at the roots, and we're going to make sure that the roots are still moist from that bag. And when you open a bare root, from my experience, they're usually in a bag. The bag is sealed shut, and you'll be able to see that condensation in there. That lets you know that the rose has not dried out in shipment. So the roots will stay moist, and they can travel for a week or more and still be fine as long as the bag is sealed. So we want to make sure that the roots are fanning out. I don't want you to obsess too much about that, because every root is going to be different. But when you look at that root, you don't want to see it knotted around each other, which would indicate a problem. And I've done a video on that. I'll put that here. And you want to make sure that the rose is the roots are free of any kind of growth or nodule, which would indicate another problem. So let's go ahead and get into this unboxing really quick, and then I'll tell you about the rose that I got. So I love small businesses because they've got this beautiful tape here that has their name and flowers all over it, and it's just begging to be opened. And then we've got a sticker here that says live plants, please handle with care, with a really pretty sticker on the front. So I have a postcard here, and it says how to plant a bare root, and directions on the back. So we're off to a good start. When I look at the bag, I see that there is moisture inside the bag. You can see the water droplets. And if you've watched some of my videos before, you know that sometimes I end up completely covered in mud because the outer bag is dirty. And so I love when a small business takes so much time into packaging that it's clean. I'm not going to be covered in mud. So let's open this up. Okay, amazing right now. We are off to a great start. So first off, when you look at it and you say, did I get the grade rose that I wanted? Oh, absolutely. Look at this. So if we expect a rose to have 3 canes, keeping in mind that every variety could be a little bit different, we expect 3 canes the size of a pencil. That is grade 1. You guys, look. What is this? This is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 8 major canes coming off of this rose. In the event that you have less, and as long as there's 3 canes, you're good to go, and that rose is going to be in great shape this season. If you've got 3 canes and any of those are smaller than a pencil, or you have less than 3 canes, reach out to the vendor. It may have just been a misstep on their part. So in this case, the canes are green. It is already starting to flush out. Let me show you here. So it is thinking. Do you see this little pink nodule here? Right. Oh, the camera sees it right here. I have those all over these canes, and it's thinking that it would like to come out of dormancy now. So this is what happened when it was in the box. You know, it just warmed up a little bit. That's okay. The cold air of being in my environment will encourage it to slow down a little bit, but we'll keep watch over it. The canes look good. They're green. They're healthy. Nothing is soft. The graft is firm. Looking at the roots on this, the roots look great. And I'm looking for any kind of nodules, but everything here looks really good. So let's get into which rose I bought. So I bought Belinda's Dream, and I bought it after seeing my friends down in Florida, Don and Jan. Their Belinda's Dream was so amazing. I would say those blooms were 5 inches across. The only detriment to Belinda's Dream is if you really want strong fragrance, this might not be the rose for you. What's interesting is if you go to helpmefind.com, it says that it is moderate fruity raspberry fragrance. Let me know in the comments down below, do you have this rose and does it have a fragrance? Because a lot of times I'm hearing that it doesn't. So it's interesting that Help Me Find says that it does have a fragrance. Maybe it's just very light. So it also says that it is 4 inches in diameter, but I think it was a little bit bigger, the one that I looked at. So when we look at the rating on helpmefind.com, we want to make sure that we go to the top and look at member ratings. Click on that and it'll show you how many people rated that rose. I think we can put a lot of value and stock into a rating as long as a lot of people have provided input. In this case, over 30 people have said that this is an excellent rose. So I think that we can agree with that. In the event that you looked at that and saw that there was only one person that rated a rose and they rated it in either extreme, excellent or poor, we want to take a harder look at that one and ask questions. And for everybody who has Belinda's Dream, please post your pictures on Help Me Find and then also put your experience. That would really help others. So let's look at the pricing really quick. All of the roses on their website are between $20 and $25, and the newer releases are going to be $25. The older varieties, like what I got, are going to be $20. They even have a tree, a standard on their site, and it's $35, which is really reasonable. So hopefully they'll have more standards in the future. I did not see any coupons available, so that's okay. Hopefully that's something that they will consider in the future. When we look at the shipping for one rose is about $23. So that only becomes a problem in the event that you have multiple roses, because it will be $23 per rose. It'll ship USPS also. So last year when we did all of our reviews, we based it on buying 10 roses. And we did that to ensure that we were taking into account getting over a certain price threshold, $100 per se, you would get free shipping from some people. Or whether there was buy in multiples, buy 3. David Austin offers that, and then you would get a discount. If we do 5 roses for our rack and stack this season, I think that will take into account all of the vendors that we work with, the discounts that are provided, whether you get over $100, whether you buy more than 3 roses. So I think that we're going to do, if you buy 5 roses, what will it cost? So let's go ahead and do that for our rack and stack. Flourish Roses will start us off this year. We'll do a 3-month check-in, but that 3-month check-in will sync with all of the other bare roots that I put into the ground in March. So that'll be June that we'll check in on this little baby here. So if you would follow me on the next video after this, and I'm going to show you how we're going to plant this up and take care of it for a couple of months until it's ready to go in the ground. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next one.